What the business leaders of tomorrow need to know about the culture of yesterday when doing business in France. Bonjour! The purpose of this video is to explain three major aspects to consider when doing business in France. The three areas that will be covered are relationships and communication, business negotiations, and business etiquette.
The first key concepts we will cover is that of relationships and communication. In this section, we will cover such aspects as forming friendships, trust, overcoming the language barrier, and key phrases. As Americans, we come from a culture where everyone is open and laid back, but in France, this is certainly not the case. The French are private people and have various rules of behavior for people within their social circle and those who are not. Although the French are generally polite in all dealings, it is only with their close friends and family that they are free to be themselves. In France, friendship brings with it a set of roles and duties that are not necessarily present in the U.S. These responsibilities include being available should you be needed and frequent, if not daily, contact. In the same, French business behavior emphasizes courtesy and a degree of formality. Mutual trust and respect is required to get tasks done. This trust is earned through proper behavior. Creating a wide network of close personal business alliances is essential in the French business world. In business, the French appear extremely direct because they are not afraid of asking probing questions. If you do not speak French, an apology for not knowing their language may aid in developing a relationship. Oftentimes, if one will attempt to speak the language, the French will understand and begin speaking English to help out the situation. So don't be surprised if they come off as rude when you only speak English and never attempt to speak French. It is always a good idea to learn a few key phrases since it demonstrates an interest in a long-term relationship. Some key phrases are bonjour, which means good morning, bonsoir, good afternoon, parlez-vous anglais, do you speak English, merci, thank you, au revoir, goodbye. Each of these are helpful in doing business in France. The way a French person communicates is often predicated by their social status, education level, and which part of the country they were raised.
I'm going to be talking about some of the keys to doing business in France, especially during business negotiations. We will cover certain areas such as how to act and be courteous, the French's idea of time, certain things to avoid, and what else to expect. Doing business in France has many similarities to America, but also many differences. Courtesy and formality is of much greater importance in business negotiations when in France. Negotiations should always begin and end with a brisk handshake accompanied by an exchange of business cards. It is courteous to wait and to be told where to sit, and you must always keep direct eye contact while speaking. Now, as you know, the French like to take their time, and it is no different when doing business. Don't be surprised if your counterparts arrive 10 to 15 minutes later than the scheduled time. This is very common in their business culture, but you should always be on time. Also, you must be patient because they like to analyze every detail, no matter how small, and they like to stick to a strict protocol. In general, French businesses possess an organizational structure which is very hierarchical. So decision-making is usually done at the very top, much more centralized than many American companies, which adds to the time of the decision-making process. Also, avoid high-pressure tactics when working with the French. This may prove to be counterproductive. French executives tend to focus more on long-term business relationships, and you may find that the French are often unwilling to take risks. And do not get too comfortable during business negotiations. Business lives and personal lives are usually kept separate in France. Also, while discussions can get heated and intense, the French are always impressed with good debating skills and a solid understanding of a situation and all ramifications. When negotiations are done and an agreement is reached, don't rush, because the French may insist that a comprehensive and detailed contract be completed.
Now we are going to talk about business etiquette during meals and include how to dress. We will also explain some do's and don'ts while in these settings. Food is one of the great passions of the French people. French cuisine is highly refined and involves careful preparation, attention to detail, and the use of fresh local ingredients. Lunch is one of the best places to forego business relationships in France. If invited to one, it is always polite to accept. Despite the formality of French business culture, it is not uncommon practice to stray from the agenda during meetings. Initial meetings are often dedicated to information sharing and discussion rather than reaching final decisions. When you are meeting for lunch or dinner, show up on time, but expect your French counterpart to be 10 to 15 minutes late. The handshake is a common form of greeting, but friends may greet each other by lightly kissing on the cheeks, once on the left cheek and once on the right cheek. If a male and female are meeting, let the female initiate the kissing. You are expected to greet with bonjour, and when leaving, au revoir. If invited to dinner, expect a later dinner, as restaurants do not open for food service until 7 p.m. While at the restaurant, expect slower service than in the U.S. and plan on being there for quite some time. Most meals start with wine, and the waiter or waitress will not come back until the first glass is almost gone. This procedure carries on for the following courses, and the entree will not be cooked until the appetizer is gone. Some popular and common foods include foie gras, duck pronounced canard, rabbit pronounced lapin, and snails pronounced escargot. As far as dress goes, the French are very mindful of how they look. They dress stylish yet conservative. You are expected to keep your hair and facial hair neat and trim. Informal invitations still mean coat and tie. Men should wear stylish dark suits. Women should wear either business suits or elegant dresses in soft colors. French people also sport a black pea coat, and nice quality accessories are also expected. Here are some business etiquette do's and don'ts. Maintain an air of formality and reserve during all business practices and at all levels within the business, using titles whenever possible. Make direct but moderate eye contact with your French business colleagues. Try to learn a few basic French phrases and use them whenever possible. Your efforts will not go unnoticed. Do not discuss your family or other personal matters during negotiations. Do not be put off by frequent differences in opinion and rigorous debate during business negotiations. The French will appreciate your ability to defend your position. Do not rush or display signs of impatience with your French counterparts. The French take their time before arriving at a decision.
In conclusion, remember the key facts mentioned in this video, such as making sure you know certain key phrases, proper business etiquette, how to handle business negotiations, and proper business dress. Always remember to research the proper methods for conducting business, along with research on French culture before attempting to conduct business in France. Thank you for watching our video. Au revoir!